Hello and welcome to MCUnhinged, the podcast where we talk about the connections between all the Marvel movies, most of the Marvel movies, and the TV shows, most of them, a good bit of them, and I chart all the swear words because I'm crazy, a sociopath even.
We're a little wacky here.
I'm your host, Tyler, and with me as always is Shibuya and Shawn.
Howdy.
Hello.
Hi. Tyler, I like that every week you go, I have to psych myself up. And then you give the most deadpan delivery of the introduction imaginable.
Yes, thank you.
Man. It's a skill. I honestly am constantly impressed with Tyler's ability to be completely deadpan in whatever scenario.
Yeah, I respect it.
You know, it's a gift and a curse. You know,
Mm-hmm.
my mom hates it. My mom fucking despises it. Like when I was little, she'd be like, "Yeah, hey, we're gonna go take a trip to Disney World," and I'd be like, "That's cool."
Oh my
I'm excited.
god, that is amazing.
Just not a good energy for me, I guess. Not a good reactor. But speaking of reactions,
What? Do you want to
Don't interrupt
talk
the segue, don't interrupt the segue.
I have it. Okay, speaking of reactions, I had a pretty middling one to watching Thor: The Dark World.
Didn't you also want to talk about the stuff?
We could do that at the end.
You want to do that at the end? Okay. Cool,
All right,
cool.
sick.
Stick around, guys, if you want to hear our thoughts about what was it?
Secret Invasion, Werewolf by Night, and the new thing,
the Deadpool thing.
The Deadpool thing, yeah, that's it.
The Ryan
There we
Reynolds
go.
sits on the
end for
couch
that.
for 2 minutes thing. Let's go.
Yeah,
That's right. We still keep up with the current events.
Hell
We do.
yeah.
Don't be fooled by the order of the podcast. Find our juicy talk about the newest content and
At the end.
In 2025, when we covered it.
In our review of Thor: The Dark World.
It's so funny that it landed on Thor: The Dark World. Honestly, we have to advertise this as the podcast where we react to that shit so we get more clicks on Thor: The Dark World than we ever would
Yeah.
normally.
Yeah, that's true. With Thor: The Dark World and new Marvel announcements.
No, new Marvel announcements featuring Thor: The Dark World.
No, you're right.
Give it second billing so that
Yeah.
people don't think it's the meat of the
You're right.
podcast.
All right. So today we're talking about Thor: The Dark World, which came out in 2013. It runs in about an hour and 52 minutes. Directed by Alan Taylor.
Yo, Alan Taylor, director of the film titled "Kill the Poor."
Okay.
For
Okay, I
real?
like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's real. That's real. I went to look at his
Oh, Lord.
filmography. I think it's I assume it doesn't mean literally we should kill poor people.
I assume it's a
but-
documentary like talking about how the actions of some people will kill poor
Yeah.
people, but like that's me assuming off
Yeah.
of knowing
Yeah.
nothing else but the title.
Also directed a ton of TV shows, but most importantly for me, directed a bunch of early episodes of Game of Thrones back when the show was good.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
This is written by Christopher Yost, Christopher Marcus, and Stephen McFeely.
Crazy that Marcus and McFeely are attached to this movie. Is this like the first thing they
Wait,
ever wrote?
that's Eminem? M from Game of Thrones?
No, that's
Or I'm thinking of something.
no,
That's
Marcus and
D&D.
Yeah, David and Dan
Eminem's
Benioff.
a rapper. My bad.
Yeah, Marcus and McFeely are the writers of like the next two Captain America movies and the last two Avengers movies.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
They wrote this, and then they also wrote First Avenger.
Okay.
Okay.
Man, they started off rough.
They
Hey,
also
it's fine. They
apparently
found their
wrote-
footing.
Apparently, they wrote 3 of the Chronicles of Narnia movies.
You mean all of the
How
Chronicles
many?
of Narnia
How
movies?
many are there?
Yes,
I
they
don't know,
only
there's-
made 3 of them.
There's like 5 books,
Yeah.
so I assume
There's
When
like
you-
7 books, dude.
There's 7. Damn,
Yeah.
that's crazy. That's a lot of
Like when you
that's a lot of Christian fanfic.
like when you said 3 of them, I was like, there can't. My eyes widened. I was like,
Yeah,
there
like
can't
there's
be more
not
than
more
three.
than 3 of the movies.
There's no fucking way there can't be more than 3.
That's like how Percy Jackson has like 20,000 books and 2 movies because those movies sucked ass.
Oh, 2 great movies. 2 amazing
No, we
movies.
can't do this.
Bro, he gets Medusa turned to stone with his iPod Touch. Let's get it.
Hell yeah, brother. Modern technology.
Absolutely
Anyways,
love it.
It's just crazy that they went from First Avenger and Dark World, which I like First Avenger, as I've said, but they went from that to fucking Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't believe you, you know? Like, I'd be like, somebody else wrote those, right?
Even the best artists start out kind of making shit. But you
That's
get
true.
better and you evolve and you find exactly your niche. And they fucking found their niche, all right.
Yeah, it's apparently throwing a ton of superheroes together and having fun with it. I don't know. They did hit one masterpiece with First Avenger, and then they kind of had to fall off with this one. but-
Nah, I don't know about that.
I mean, that's yeah. I'm glad you have that opinion. Somebody has to.
So this movie had a budget of 170 million, with a box office of 642 million $783,140 worldwide, with a 32% domestic and 68% international, which makes this the first movie post Avengers to not hit the one bill mark.
Also, the second movie post Avengers, so
Well,
I don't know that.
But Avengers hit it, then Iron Man 3 hit it.
Yeah,
And kind of break the streak here.
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes has a 66% with critics and a 75% with audiences. Has a 6.8 on IMDb and an 82% on Google. 82 is pretty low for Google.
Google fucking wilding out here with every ranking they've had so far.
82 is really high for this movie.
It sure is.
I know it's really low for like Google, but holy shit.
Considering the Google average is like 15 points more than any other ranking, yeah, this is a lot.
But yeah, here we are, Dark World. Any preview thoughts before we hop into the plot, or
The last bad Marvel movie until Multiverse of Madness.
True. He's spitting.
I have not seen this movie since I sat down in a theater in 2013 to watch it. So being at home in 2022, sitting down and sitting through this hour and 52-minute movie was interesting, to say the least. Because
Yeah.
I like only vaguely remembered the stuff that gets referenced later, and otherwise I was kind of just like, nope, nothing of this has remained in my brain.
Yeah, I would say that this movie is what like the hardcore Marvel haters think that Marvel is, or what they always claim, which is like all flash and no substance.
Which is a little bit bullshit, considering that this movie has like when there is substance, it can be good.
I think like there's one character that has good substance, and the rest of the movie is kind of like.
I think
But-
I think that's a little bit harsh. There are a couple characters here that I think are really well executed.
That's fair. I think the thing that came across this movie the best to me is I think the best thing about this movie to me on this watch through is was the action sequences, especially every action sequence up until the last one. I just was like, I think they were very well shot. I thought the effects for the most part looked really good.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, these are some cool fights. I'm enjoying. It might be my favorite fights. I guess maybe excluding Avengers so far.
Well, yeah, you can't compare a solo movie to an Avengers movie unless it's something
Yeah.
like Civil War, where it is a
Yeah.
team up in and of itself. Because I
but
feel like that's
honestly,
just unfair.
I think I might prefer the way the action is shot in this movie even to Avengers.
Huh.
It's just a lot more dynamic. I
I mean,
especially
I can see
some
that.
of the chase sequences. I was really into the action, I guess, is what and that surprised me.
Okay. Well, we open up on another Anthony Hopkins joint here with the Odin narration. He's talking about the birds of the dark elves, who, let's just be honest here. Let's be real for a second.
Yeah.
The dark elves, like anyone who's not Malekith or his friend, they look like Power Rangers, like
They do. They
fodder
do.
enemies.
If you're not important character, you are mook. That is how the Dark Elves function.
Yeah, that sounds crazy. It's crazy. I wonder what's their home lives like, you know?
I also don't think I understand the Dark Elves. I don't really.
In what way?
Well, like, I mean, this is later in the movie, but they're talking about how, like, the Dark Elves existed. I mean, they kind of imply that they existed before the Infinity Stones.
They existed before the light.
I
Whatever the light
don't
is,
think...
whatever that means.
But then I mean, maybe not. Maybe that's not what they mean, but they're talking about, they say that, like, they formed the Aether or whatever. Like, that was a weapon that they made, which I guess the Aether just contains the Reality Stone.
The way I read that was...
The way it's explained later is that the Aether is the Infinity Stone. It was created with the Big Bang, like Wong says at some point in one of the movies or whatever. I guess Infinity War. But that they harness, like they found it and harness it, but
yeah, that's
it's the goo is still technically the stone.
How come there was no light yet?
I think the major implication of that is just like that the Dark Elves existed before the Big Bang.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
So like the stones and the Dark Elves were some of the first things in all of creation. Then the Big Bang happened, and they were like, "Fuck, go back," and everyone else said, "No, we're alive now. Eat shit."
Or maybe it's
really
more
like
theological, you know?
Yeah, maybe it's religious, dude. Who knows? Honestly, I couldn't tell you.
Maybe it's
I
a
don't know
fucking
what
comic book movie and we should stop reading too deep into this shit. I don't know, bro.
I couldn't tell you any of the villains' names besides Malekith.
Yeah, I don't think any of the other ones get named, dude.
You're probably right.
I'm pretty sure his friend gets named. Do I know it? Hell no.
If his friend gets named, I was not paying enough attention.
Do you know that guy plays Killer Croc in the Suicide Squad movie?
What?
That's crazy.
Yeah,
bro.
Not that I've seen that movie, but
I have.
Bro, did you know Malekith's actor deserved to be in a better MCU movie than this? Fucking Christopher Eccleston, and they gave him this shit.
They buried his face. I looked up pictures of him because I just, I'm not into Doctor Who, so I don't really know who this guy is.
That's fair.
And I was like, no, there's no way that's him.
His voice comes across pretty well in it. At least.
There are points where I can hear his accent in the voice, and it's really funny. But
that's just what Dark Elves sound like.
Yeah, Dark Elves are just from the north of England. That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's why the final battle in this opening is on Earth.
Fucking London.
God.
But the most ruthless of the Dark Elves, Malekith, wanted to transform the universe back to eternal night. And in order to do that, he needed to use the Aether, the opposite of the Nether. But he got stopped by King Bor Burison in the Asgardian army. Yeah, that's his last name.
God damn. Yeah.
Son of Buri. And Malekith was about to unleash the Aether as the 9 realms converged 5,000 years ago, but Asgore said yoink, and they took it. They fucking took that shit. And Malekith sacrificed a lot of his own kind to try to defeat the army. Like they stabbed their weird ships into the ground, and it didn't do anything. But King Bor could not destroy the Aether, so he opted to just have it buried somewhere where no one could find it. We just see them use the Bifrost to teleport it somewhere.
Yeah, it went somewhere. Unclear.
Yeah, no one will find that, we promise.
No one. Not randomly, no. You have to really search for it.
I mean, to be fair, I guess Jane was technically searching.
Not for that. She was searching for a fucking Delph. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's true.
So we cut to present day, where Loki is on trial for the events of Avengers. And I just want you to sit down and think for just a second. Just take a second to think about how at this point in time in the timeline, there are now 2 Lokis doing different things.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Oh, you're right. But one of them is outside of time, right?
Yeah, one of them got pulled to the TVA, which is
it's outside of time, right?
It's hard to explain. I have comparisons I could make, but that would probably just be more confusing for the people who don't know what I'm referencing.
And now he's gonna have to watch this Loki fuck up.
Yeah, on fast forward.
Yeah, he gets to just fucking cutscene skip through this entire movie, and honestly, I envy him.
I'm so jealous.
God, I wish that were me.
So he has a brief interaction with Frigga, who tells him not to make things worse. And Odin says that wherever Loki goes, there's war, ruin, and death. Loki tries to hit him with the, like, I learned it from you, father. But, it's my birthright to take the throne, or a throne, at least. And Odin's like, your birthright was to die, cast out into a frozen rock. If I had not taken you in, you would not be here to hate me. You're like, whoa there, Odin.
Odin's got some cold lines, dude. Your birthright was to die.
Yeah, that shit was raw.
He sends Loki to live the rest of his life in the dungeons. And also tells him that he'll never see Frigga again. Cut to Vanaheim, where Lady Sif and the Warriors 3, Vandral, now played by Zachary Levi, who looks fucking terrible. He just looks like that.
I didn't even realize. The
entire
entire time I didn't realize it was fucking Zachary Levi. Jesus Christ, he looks awful here.
They made the switch, and then they're like, you know what? We really learned from Thor, like, not to make him look like that. But now we're gonna do it to Zachary Levi.
It's, oh my god.
Yeah, I only could recognize him because of the voice.
Yeah.
I went through this whole movie and I was just like, oh, it's no longer Prince Charming. I wonder who that is. And I, like, even with the voice, I couldn't place it. I'm so sorry, Zachary Levi, that they made you do this shit.
So they're in this huge battle. And Thor comes in using the same shot that's used for Cap using the hammer in Endgame. It's like the same kind of camera pan with the hammer. Pretty cool looking still. And they're fighting. You know, Sif's like, I got it under control, and Thor's like, no, the fuck you don't. But eventually the enemy force sends out a Cronin, the same race as Korg. Fucking Dark World
pretty
making
cool.
moves.
Pretty cool, pretty big connection.
And Thor takes him down in a single swing, just one. And he's like, hey, anyone else? This part, this bit in particular, I guess, was redone by Joss Whedon for this film. They brought him in to do that one. Yeah.
There
are a lot of reshoots and stuff for this movie.
You can tell.
I can tell, and you know why? Because the whole I accept your surrender beats him up, and then they all just start kneeling.
Yeah.
Because
that's very Joss Whedon.
They plant the seeds of Thor being a little bit funny in certain places in this movie, and I'm shocked it's less quippy if this was a Joss Whedon rewrite.
Well, we'll get to the quips.
Yeah. Well, here.
I thought the opening fights were pretty good, to be honest.
Yeah, I enjoyed them.
I was engaged. They definitely tricked me into thinking that I had forgotten like a sizable Sif arc. I was like, oh, Sif's kind of, it sounds like there's some stuff going on with Sif. And then I was like, no. No, there isn't.
They almost trick you into thinking you should give a shit about Thor's friends. And then you remember, no, you never should give a shit about Thor's friends. Why the fuck would you?
She's actually just lucky she's not in Ragnarok.
Yeah. Well, hey, she's in Loki, so that's a win.
That's true.
That's true.
Surprise. So, everyone surrenders. And Hogan, who I had misspelled, his name is Hogus in my notes. Hogus Pogus.
Hogus Pogus. I spilled Coke on your focus or whatever the fuck that video is.
But Hogan asked Thor, like, yo, where we're going next? But Thor's like, hey, there's almost peace across all the 9 realms. Why don't you just stay here in Vanaheim with your people, bro?
Which is where I went, these are his people?
I was like, he's not from Asgard?
Yeah, that. What are you doing on Asgard then, bud? What the fuck is going on?
Tyler, please tell me you can tell me why Hogan got written off like this and just wasn't in the movie.
I have no idea.
I'm looking up his actor to see if he had any other roles.
Yeah, but he had he doesn't show up again until they cut to the jets later on, and that's it. That's his part in this movie, and then he gets killed. God, that's so fucked, dude.
But Like, if he just wasn't in this movie, I don't think anybody would care.
Yeah, I don't think anyone
Like, I
would.
don't know what.
But they just had to be like, you know what? He's just not gonna be.
Yeah.
Maybe he probably had something going on, but so disrespected.
Dude,
so disrespected.
wait. Did they also change Hogan actors?
Do they? I don't feel like they do.
No, it's him the whole way through.
Okay. Who's this other? What's this other casting for then?
Sorry, Tyler.
Okay, I don't know. There's some other Thor thing.
Back in Asgard, everyone's training, which they have like these weird like weapons that like have sparks at the end of them. Asgard's going through something, but
I actually think this is my favorite depiction of Asgard. It's very fantasy. I don't know. It looks a lot bigger.
It was just the weapons. Like I've never seen them with the like energy at the end of their weapons. It's just kind of weird to me.
But the place looks a lot bigger in this movie.
Yeah.
I feel like we see a lot more of it than in any of the other ones.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that. My question is, how the fuck does the teleporting work at this point? Because wasn't the Rainbow Bridge gone? And like, what did that mean?
They simply rebuilt it.
They fixed it, and the Bifrost is fixed as well.
So so Thor got sent to Earth in Avengers by Odin. Odin used his power.
Odin, dark magic that we don't talk about.
Yeah. And they came back using the Tesseract.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And then in the like week that has passed or something between these two moments, they rebuilt.
No, it's been like a year.
Bridge?
Avengers was 2012. There's a calendar in the back of one of the shots that says 2013.
Okay, I guess I get confused since the opening was like, I guess there's a time skip in between the scene where Loki is on trial and when they're in Vanaheim. Because presumably that Loki trial scene happens directly after Avengers. Yeah. And then the rest of the movie must be a year after that.
I think it's a safe assumption to say that like the Loki trial is supposed to be immediately after Avengers, and then Thor like bringing peace to all the other realms is what he's been doing in the rest of the time between.
So the Rainbow Bridge is back, and we can just teleport people again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
But also, they absolutely acknowledged that this is just in space, and you can just fly there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, Thor literally could have used when Mjolnir to just fly to the end of the Rainbow Bridge and go, Yo, Heimdall!
Yeah, when we get to like when you've got a Guardians of the Galaxy movie coming out after this, it's kind of time to stop pretending that this isn't just space, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So Odin and Thor are having a conversation about peace. You know, you must think I'm a piece of bread that needs to be buttered so heavily.
Not his best line.
Could be worse.
Odin says, all things seem to be in order except for Thor's confused and distracted heart. Odin insinuates that Thor should stop focusing on Jane because human lives are fleeting and focus on someone that's the same as him, like Sif. The camera pans over the Sif.
Yeah, and this is when I was like, oh, is there like a whole Jane versus Sif, like which one should he be with type thing? No, not at all.
No, Thor doesn't have this conflict. He's just like, no, I love Jane.
The only person who, it feels like they wrote Sif that way though. Like there's
Sif
this
is
weird
into him.
Yeah. And Thor's just like, what are you talking about?
I wouldn't be surprised if there were a lot of cut Sif scenes in this movie. Because I feel like even like whenever she does show up, it's supposed to be a bigger deal. Like even even later on, there's a scene where like she just walks by and the camera lingers on her, and I'm like, why?
So the time has almost come for Thor to take the throne, but they gotta celebrate the battle, and he should at least pretend to enjoy himself. Thor watches everyone have fun and party while he sulks in a.
I just don't buy any of this.
He's got this weird like black cloak on for some of the movie. I don't know what that's about.
He's sad, Tyler, and he's gonna sneak around to see his girlfriend that he hasn't seen in 2 years.
I wish I had an emo cloak, dude.
Bro, same.
For when I'm sad. I'm always sad. Sif notes that Thor uses to celebrate for weeks, and that she once celebrated the Battle of Hurricane so much that she almost started it again. But he refuses a drink when she asks her and goes off. And this is where I'm like, oh, she definitely feels like a she likes him kind of thing.
Yeah.
Not that they can't be platonic friends, you know, that can exist, but
Yeah, but the writing is trying to push it.
There are a lot of things in the comics that are like, you know, Thor and stuff are a thing.
Yeah.
But, you know.
I just don't buy Jane and Thor at all in this movie. Like, and you know what? It's not even their relationship. I don't buy that he's so smitten about her after having spent like a week with her.
They spent like a couple days at most.
Because he doesn't see her between Thor and Avengers, and he doesn't see her between Avengers and now. So really, they've known each other for about a week, really. Yeah. And they haven't talked since. And I'm supposed to feel like he can't enjoy his time with his friends because he just keeps thinking about her. Like,
you're telling me in the days between the end of Avengers and you going back to Asgard, you couldn't just like fly over there?
Yeah, you know? Like if there had been even a scene in Avengers or even at the start of this movie of him like debating shirking his duties to go and see her and then just thinking about how his father might feel and feeling conflicted, I might buy it a little more. And with her, I'm just like, yeah, you know, if this fucking god of legend who is ripped with this massive hammer shows up for a week and changes your whole fucking life, I'm like, yeah, I would also be like, hey, when are you coming back?
Yeah, I get her side of it. I just don't understand. I don't know. I find it hard to believe that like he's so despondent about this person that he knew for like a week that he's down this far. Like
he's down this bad.
Like I mean, they try to do the whole thing where like everybody's having fun around him, but he just can't. It's like the shit they do at the end of Lord of the Rings where Frodo just can't be happy after all the shit he went through, and they keep showing like, look at all his friends are smiling and stuff, and we just pan over to Frodo and he's like, I'm traumatized. Like they try to do the same thing with Thor in this movie, and I don't buy it.
So back in Midgard, Jane is on a date with a guy named Richard, I think, and he asks her story because she's kind of spent the first 10 minutes of this date like hiding behind a menu, like with the same amount of, like this menu has the same amount of choices as a Splatfest. Like just pick one, bro. Just pick one, Jane. Yeah, it's okay.
This is when I pulled out my phone.
This poor guy, dude. This poor fucking guy. She says it's complicated. Darcy shows up to interrupt the date and to throw shade and, you know, tell Jane about the scientific equipment that she doesn't look at anymore. But it's picking up something. And Jane sends Darcy off. And then she actually starts thinking about her choices on the menu. And then she says sea bass. I shit you not 10 times.
Oh, you
before
counted?
Leaving the date. I have to go through the transcript the
screenplay,
the transcript of the movie, so I can make sure I don't miss any swear words.
That's fair.
And so when I search ass, 15 of those 20 results was sea bass.
Oh no!
And actually, no one says ass in this movie at all.
Wow.
The other 5 were the same word, assured. But so Jane leaves because the guy's like, just go follow your friend. You know, we'll try this again, maybe some other time, maybe, probably not, definitely not. While driving to the location, we're introduced to Darcy's intern, Ian. And they try to call Selvig, but they can't reach him because we cut to the news and Selvig is running around Stonehenge in the nude.
Mad respect to Selvig.
And has been taken by the police because the Mind Stone kind of fucked them up. They come across like some shipping containers that are also laid out like Stonehenge. I don't know if they ever note that. But
oh shit! I didn't realize
they
that.
never noted, and I didn't take note of it. Yeah. So
I was just pausing while I take notes, and I was like, those shipping containers are kind of stacked, kind of weird.
+1 to the movie for that.
Yeah.
So they come across some kids who found something, and Jane asks if they can show them. One of them walked into a room and like fucking lightly moves a truck and it like floats. And they drop a bottle down a stairwell and it disappears and reappears at the top, kind of like Portal.
Yeah, they do the Portal thing.
Yeah.
Except it glitches, so only some things come back, and it's very funny.
Yeah, Ian throws the keys in there because he's a fucking
I don't know.
Yeah,
dumbass.
this man is. Look, to be fair, this man is unpaid, and this is probably the most exciting thing he's been involved with for however long he's worked for this bitch.
I was so upset because this
Yeah.
I already don't like these people. Like, I don't like the human plot line in these Thor movies, at least the first two.
Yeah.
So I don't even get to like have fun with Kat Dennings on the screen because every time she's on the screen, so is this fucking idiot intern. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't.
And she's sucked up all the quips. She's got them all,
Yeah,
like the Infinity Stones.
yeah. I don't understand why he's here, and why does he get so much screen time? He's in so much of this movie, and he does nothing.
He doesn't do a goddamn thing.
Actually,
No, he does one
does
thing.
do stuff, which is crazy because he shouldn't do anything.
Wow.
I don't
Fucking
understand
number
why
one
this-
Ian hater on the podcast.
Is
How
that
does
his
it feel?
name?
I
His
think
name is Ian.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Tyler literally said it.
Tyler said it, and my brain deleted it because he's of such a little consequence, and I can't
Your brain
believe
has you
that-
muted term in your brain.
he gets like a hero moment. He gets like a hero moment later in this movie. Any of the other humans should have gotten that hero moment. Like, who are you? Why are you here?
So Jane follows the signal until she gets blown into a room. And hey, it's right where the Aether is. Oh shit.
So is there a portal there? The convergence is
There's a
what's-
convergence thing there. I don't
That's-
know why
that's
it's
why
Does
blue.
it
things-
lead directly to the Aether?
Why not? The main
Okay.
thing
Alright,
is
no,
just
fair enough.
the main thing is just that the convergence being there is why everything was so fucky
Yeah, okay.
in the actual like warehouse, like the truck and
Yeah.
the portal shenanigans. And I just remember vividly seeing Jane show up here with this pillar that is cracked in the middle with a glowing red thing inside. And I am like, they said you have 3 fucking degrees, bitch. Please do not touch the glowing pillar with a big red crack in it because that is an absolute sign that you should not touch it.
Yeah,
And then she
it's
touches it.
definitely a thing you shouldn't have touched. But she did. She touches it,
She touches it.
and she passes out.
3 degrees and no common sense. Let's go.
This alerts Malekith, who's just been sleeping this whole time, I guess. And he says that the convergence returns as he comes out of his cryostasis or
His nap or whatever.
whatever the fuck he's been doing. I don't know.
His sleepy
I really-
snoosh snore time.
I really wish this scene had been shot with him like he's got like a blanket over him.
I'm gonna be
He
honest.
just has the
in bed.
nightcap. He's like,
There's an alarm clock next to him going
the
off.
convergence.
Most of the scenes where Malekith is talking with his fellow dark elves, I fucking hard skip those scenes. I'm just gonna be honest.
I don't blame you.
'Cause they don't say
was,
anything of note.
I was on my phone playing fucking Sum or whatever the fuck I could find.
So back on Asgard, Thor gets to meet with Heimdall. He goes to meet, and I gets to. It is a privilege though to meet.
No, it
Heimdall,
is.
though.
It is. That's true.
Who tells Thor that the convergence is coming and the universe hasn't seen it since before Heimdall's watch. Its effects are dangerous, but are a beautiful sight. And the only thing I could think of when he said that is Monokuma.
Oh,
All right.
Why?
Because at the end of every fucking morning announcement, he goes, "And have a beautiful day."
Shut the fuck
Oh my
up, please.
fucking god.
It's a beautiful sight.
I
Heimdall
can't
is a goat,
escape.
and you're comparing him to the father of incest cubs. Way to go, Tyler. Way
I
to
can't
fucking
get
go.
away from motherfucking Kuma or Danganronpa. I quit playing the game, and you brought it to the Marvel podcast.
I hate that I can do a Monokuma laugh. It's one of my worst traits. I'm so toxic for it. It sucks.
And I want you to know, in order to even do my bad impression of him, I had to look at a picture of him. That's the only way I can do it.
You have to look him dead in the eyes when you're about to do it.
Shibuya, when we were playing the first Danganronpa game for like maybe a month and a half or something before I quit,
Okay.
I want you to know that Tyler had like every single Monokuma line memorized. Like he was saying them
What?
as like before having to read them. Tyler like knew what to say.
Tyler.
It was crazy.
Tyler, this is an intervention. Are you okay? Are you okay, man? Are you good?
just more sociopathic, behavior.
No, okay, you know what? That's fair. That's fair. I get that.
So Heimdall says that Jane is also studying the convergence, even though she doesn't know it. But he stops the sentence when she becomes unable to be seen by him.
What?
I worded the sentence differently in my notes, but I read it wrong and tried to fix it, and no, it came out wrong. But when she wakes up, she's back at the complex.
She's in the
Darcy
goop.
called-
What will she do?
Darcy called the police because Jane was gone for 5 hours.
Yeah.
A good nap.
Dude,
Man.
it's just so funny. Like, normally I have a lot of notes for these movies. You keep talking and I'm like, man, this still isn't my next note.
Yeah, I know. It's funny how that works.
My next note is about Loki. I have no idea when we're gonna get to this.
My next note is Odin being racist. Let's fucking go.
So this is probably one of my shorter notes I have. It's only like 6 pages.
Okay, I barely ever.
Iron Man was like 10. All right, Iron Man 3 was like 10 pages.
Okay,
I just do this in my notes app. I don't have pages for this shit. I wish I did. It would be interesting.
But I lost myself. It starts raining, right? Thunder, raining. But there's a circle of dryness around Jane and Darcy, and when she looks over, she sees Thor. He's just standing there. He's just kind of. He hasn't like said anything. He didn't say hi. He's just kind of standing. Is he also dry? I don't remember if he's also.
I think he's soaked.
So, what? Okay, what is making this circle of dryness? Because at one point, Darcy asks, "Is this you?" to Thor, and I assumed she was asking, like, "Are you keeping Jane dry?" But then he makes all the rain stop, like implying that he had made the rain start in the first place.
I don't.
So who kept Jane dry?
Well, as we establish later in the movie, and I hate that I'm doing
Is it
this
just
for
the
fucking
Aether?
Dark World of all things, the Aether will do whatever it can to protect itself.
From
Meaning
rain?
its
From
host.
the rain.
Do you think the Aether knows what fucking rain is, Shawn?
I mean, it's one of the most like primal aspects of the universe. I think it might have.
Yeah, and
some
the
idea.
Aether is from like before the universe. So, bro, do you
Before
think it
rain.
knows what
You're right. No,
rain
you're right.
is?
Yeah, no. See,
You're right.
it saw rain be formed, and we're like, no, fuck that.
It's like shit in the sky. Oh hell no, no, we're not doing this.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
So she sees Thor. She slaps him to see if he's real. Then she slaps him again for leaving her for 2 years. And Darcy comes over and says they're getting arrested. And when the officer touches Jane, she like unleashes like a blast or something.
Pretty fucking cool.
The Aether said, "Hey, cab, let's go."
Yo!
And Thor takes Jane, and police officer's like, "Hey, she's dangerous." And he's like, "So am I."
Boom, 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 boom. No, wait, that's the Guardians theme.
And then they go to Asgard in the Bifrost, traveling through space. We see, and Heimdall welcomes her to Asgard. Nice. So cut over to Svartalfheim. Fun note if you're into Norse kind of stuff, or if you just play God of War. Svartalfheim is literally means the home of the Dark Elves. That's crazy.
Oh, that's
shit.
crazy.
Just like Alfheim is just the home of the light elves, the regular elves.
Yeah.
And this isn't an important. Malekith is just molding about how he lost last time. So
He does that a lot.
back in Asgard, scientists and doctors are like looking at Jane to see what's wrong with her. And one of the doctors comes up and she's like, "I don't know if Jane's gonna survive this amount of energy." And then she like kind of fucks off. Like you just walk up and bring some bad news and then fucking leave. But Jane realizes that what they're using is a quantum field generator. And the lady's like, "No, it's a soul forge. What are you talking about? Like, does it do this, this, and this?" Yeah. Quantum field generator.
I thought that line was kind of funny.
I do like when they're just like, yeah, magic is just science that we haven't developed yet. I do like when movies
Yeah.
do that, especially in the MCU. So that good scene.
Odin comes in and he's a little peeved. He's really anti-human in this movie, I guess.
Yeah.
You could say racist.
yeah.
It's fine.
He's a little racist towards the people of one of the 8 other planets he fucking knows.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, it's wild that they like only talk about 8. Isn't that weird?
A little weird.
They know about the other ones because they know. We know from the post-credit scene. They know that there are other planets and there's other people out there.
Yeah, but that's not a realm, dude.
Are these like are all of these planets in like are they close together? Is that why? Is it like Odin is the master of this
no
area
Asgard
of space?
can't be that close to Earth.
I mean, not like super close, but like closer than the Nova Corps, right?
Given
like,
mythology, my assumption is just like they're all connected through the world tree, so they may be all aligned in a way where Asgard is in
Maybe.
like a prime spot to deal with all of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Is I feel like it has to be a proximity thing.
Like they all have the best connection to each other in like an online multiplayer game.
Yeah. They're all on the East Coast of the galaxy.
Yeah, East Coast Galaxy server. Exactly.
Yeah, they're on the East Coast Galaxy server, and the Nova Corps is on
These
the
are
West
the
Coast.
only 8 other realms with rollback netcode. It's fine. Nobody else is advanced enough yet.
Everyone else is playing on fucking the other one. I forget what it's called now. Delay based.
Yeah.
So Odin orders the guards to take her back, but again, she lets off that blast. Also, I like the part where she's like, "Who do you think you are, dude?"
Yeah.
Good.
And he's like, "I'm Odin, the king of Asgard, protector of the 9 realms." So he's like, "Oh."
She's like, okay.
And then she just goes, "Wait, you told your dad about me? What the fuck?"
Odin says that a relic as old as the universe itself may dwell within Jane. The 9 realms are not eternal. They had a dawn and they will have a dusk. But before the dawn, the dark elves reign unchallenged. While the other relics often appear as stones, the Aether is fluid and ever-changing. Odin is certain the dark elves are dead. He's gonna pay that price with his wife.
It's
does
fluid and ever changing for now.
yeah, until it's put into a glove.
Yeah.
And then it is a stone.
Until he freezes it and makes aether ice or whatever.
Thanos shows up to nowhere and is like, I need a freezer.
Thanos shows up, just puts it in fucking dry ice for 2 seconds, reaches in with the Infinity Gauntlet, and is just like, good. Rock.
Do you have a mold for this?
He goes to the fucking Galaxy Forge and is like, I need a glove and also a mold for some goop.
Yeah. This is gonna have to set for at least 4 hours.
He's like, how long do I have until my daughter arrives?
He doesn't know how to get out of Jane though. Apparently, only Malekith does. So Malekith is planning to turn his right-hand guy, is just what I called him, into a cursed, and he like stabs him in the chest and gives him this little rock. And put some cool armor on him, and then we cut away from that scene. To Vendrell and Volstagg, they come through the Bifrost with some more prisoners, one of which is the Dark Elf we just saw.
Yeah, how'd that happen?
You know what? Doesn't really matter.
He went out and got himself caught or something. We don't need to know. I don't care enough.
So Loki is in the dungeon, and Frigga asks him if he likes the books.
Yo, this was my
she
next
sent
note.
him. And you know what? Frigga hooked his ass up, dude. He's got a good look
For real.
Man's got like a lounge chair. He's got snacks, a bookshelf.
No roommates.
Yeah,
Like,
he's on his. He's fucking set for life, dude.
The Loki stuff in this movie overall is just really good. I think Loki's really the only character that I felt that I super enjoyed the storyline of.
I like Loki and Frigga's dynamic a lot, and it's a
Hmm.
shame that we didn't get more of it in like Thor proper.
Yeah.
But I wish there'd been more time for Frigga so I could say she's a good character. She's good in this
Yeah,
movie,
no,
but like,
Yeah, I mean, after this, we get what? Endgame?
and that's
Oh, yeah, she's
basically
in
Loki.
that
it.
game a little bit, isn't she?
Yeah.
And Loki and
Wait, was she in
Love and
Loki?
Thunder.
I think she's in Loki
Wait.
in flashbacks.
Yeah, she's in the flashbacks.
Oh, okay.
Like she's not properly in it, not the way she is in Endgame.
Okay.
And then she's in Love and Thunder. That's it.
Is she?
I haven't seen it yet. I'll be real with you. I don't know.
When they're flashing back through Thor's life, and he's like a baby, and she has him in like a baby holster.
Oh,
Okay.
I can't
and she's
remember
in
that.
battle.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
So he gets lectured about his actions before yelling about how Odin isn't his father. Frigga asks, "Then am I not your mother?" And he takes a second, but he's like, "You're not." Oof, Loki, big fucking oof.
Damn, bro, that's kind of cringe.
If the oof sound was still in Roblox, I'd open it up and I'd play it somehow. But since it's not,
You don't have it on your soundboard?
Why'd you double down, dude? I don't actually.
That's kind of crazy.
Anyways, he's gonna regret this.
Yeah.
Thor and Jane are walking, and they kind of sit down, and he explains the convergence and stuff, and then they kiss, and then Frigga walks up, and she's like, "Hey,
I'm the mom."
yeah, it's me, his mom. Back to Loki. The docked up guy like takes the crystal out of his gut, and he smashes it, and he convulses and turns into like the curse, the big buff dude, and he just breaks the barrier to his cell using another guy.
Sure.
Like, apparently, these barriers just aren't that great, actually. Like,
why not, dude?
He starts breaking other people out. He's about to break out Loki. He's like, "Nah, I'm not gonna do that."
He's like, "Fuck this guy. No, ew."
Then Loki's like, "You should try taking the stairs to the left."
He's also gonna regret that.
Yeah, he's gonna regret that one too. If this were a Telltale game, you'd see a little pop up in the top of the screen. But the guy still doesn't break him out after that. That's good advice. I mean, but still, whatever. Thor goes to the cells, which a really cool shot when he jumps off of the. Is that now? I don't think that's now actually.
Yeah, I think it's now.
Probably
right?
later.
It's
No, it can't be.
I don't know. This whole fight scene is just really cool. It's just like a 20-minute fight.
Yeah. Anyway, you know what? I don't know when it is, but at some point he's gonna jump off a little balcony and do like a twist and grab the hammer as it comes.
And then his cape just magically appears from somewhere.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Who cares? It rocks.
It's pretty awesome.
In the comics, the cape only showed up when he like was holding the hammer and like
I'm
ready
fine
for
with that.
battle. Yeah, but here it's just really cool. It's a cool little movie.
Yeah, it's a cool shot.
So, this was it. Because if I'd read maybe a sentence further, it was it. But Frigga's looking after Jane at the cell. The Warriors 3 minus Hogan are fighting the prisoners, and Loki reads a book. Thor shows up, fights a bunch of guys. Frigga talks to Odin and tells him that he's like, "This is just a skirmish," and she's like, "I can see the future. This ain't no skirmish." So she grabs the sword off a guy and tells Jane to do everything she says without question. So we see the Dark Elf ship kind of still fly in. Heimdall, Giga Chad, takes him down with a knife or something.
He takes down the fucking retro reflective panels or whatever that they have.
Yeah.
Absolute badass, dude. Fucking
yeah.
I love Heimdall in these movies. He's one of the best characters in the Thor part of the canon.
100%.
King shit.
And as he's running to jump on the ship, you can actually see the crack in the bridge where it was broken in Thor 1.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I didn't notice either.
Hey, as someone who has to do all the research, and I watch a lot of YouTube videos about this stuff just to make sure, that's what I was told. And you can actually see it if you just pause the video. But a lot of more ships come in. Here's where we see the ships like kind of old Viking boats, which are pretty cool.
I love that aesthetic.
Heimdall fires up a barrier around the palace, kind of like FF15, but like the curse like destroys it immediately. Like it's really just like, I don't know why that shot was even here in the first place.
Yeah,
because it doesn't matter.
It shows that the elves are a threat, I guess.
The Dark Elves and Malekith start their attack, and M-Dog throws a grenade at the throne room just because he's petty.
I really like this whole fight. I just the ships coming in with like the turret emplacements and like the ship landing in the throne room.
This is big Star Wars vibes.
Yeah, it's got huge Star Wars vibes, which is probably why I like it so much. Like, and them all coming down the ramp of the ship, and like I think this whole bit I was like glued. I was very engaged during this whole action sequence.
So Malekith goes right to the room that Frigga and Jane are in because he can sense the aether. And Frigga handles herself pretty well because she is a warrior who became a queen.
Yep.
But the curse comes in and apprehends her. Malekith approaches Jane and tries to take the aether, but Jane was just an illusion.
Whoa!
Yo! Then where's the real Jane? And where's the ether? If he sensed it and came up here.
She was just off screen. And Malekith's like, tell me where the ether is. And Frigga's like, no, I'll never tell you. And he goes, I believe you. And then he has the curse kill Frigga.
Rip Frigga. And then
I
like
respect.
fucking Thor is like slow-mo, no, as he's
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
you
all-
can hear that he was right there, which is
He's also right off screen.
maybe the worst part. And then we get the slow-mo of Malekith's, like, his entire right half of his face just being burned to a crisp by the fucking lightning, and that shit rocks.
and his buddy's like, all right, boss, let's get out of here. And he like tackles him
Yeah.
off the side of the roof.
Yeah. And here's where, God, fucking the Avengers video game. He threw the hammer once, and then called it back, did a spin, and threw it with a backhand. I was like, that move's in the game. I like that move a lot.
I can't wait for us to stream that game. It's gonna happen.
Oh,
we should
God.
really do that before they take the servers offline.
Yeah, if we're gonna do it, we should do it before the servers
Oh.
go offline, and
No,
so I
no,
can
don't
install
worry,
it
it's
on
not like-
PS5.
Look, She-Hulk's still on the way, and so is Winter Soldier.
Maybe.
I might pick
They
up
said-
Bucky
they said
when he
it.
becomes available, if that ever happens.
So they hold a Viking funeral for Frigga, and she turns into that godly dust that we see in later movies. What a bad time to talk about the Queen dying, am I right, fellas?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Man.
Oh.
Which made you sadder, the death of Frigga or the death of Queen Elizabeth? Comment down below.
I mean, Frigga, hands down. I mean,
Absolutely, yeah.
absolutely.
At least the
I don't know.
at least the
What is she doing in
colonialism
her
was
past,
fake
dude?
in Thor. Let's
it was
fucking go.
fake. I'm pretty sure she wasn't married to her cousin either.
Yeah, well, there's no way for us to know that. We
I
don't
actually
know the
don't know
details more.
I don't know about Odin and her relationship.
I don't know much Norse mythology other than what I've heard from this and Supernatural. So like,
What a supernatural scene.
But someone comes in and tells Loki that Frigga's died, and he doesn't get to go to the funeral because he's in jail. And he throws a bunch of stuff around in his cell. It actually looks really funny when he does it.
I thought it
I
was
don't think-
sad.
I don't think the stuff doesn't move enough for me.
Hmm.
But maybe you shouldn't have been a dick, Loki. How about that?
Yeah, how about
yeah, bro.
that?
Maybe you shouldn't have said, no, you're not my mother. Maybe those shouldn't have been the last words you said to your fucking mother. Let's go.
Don't worry, I'm sure
So-
he'll live with that for the rest of his short life.
Yeah.
So Eric Selvig is giving a lecture on the convergence. It turns out to be in some asylum or prison, home for the elderly kind of psych ward kind of thing.
Tyler and I both decided this is not a good Stan Lee cameo.
Yeah. This landed. Well, it ranked B. It was in the B tier
Was
of
it
Stanley
B?
cameos.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
this
thought
is
it was lower.
not great, but I don't think it's the worst that it
No,
could
definitely
have been.
not.
Honestly, I can think of a better spot for a Stanley cameo, genuinely. And I think it would have been like near the end of the movie when Thor gets on the in the tube in the underground.
Oh, yeah,
If
that
Stanley
would've
had
been
just
great.
been move aside, big guy, or something. That
Or
that
when
would've
they're
been good.
sliding down the side of the tower.
Also that.
Yeah.
That would have been another. Just somewhere in there where they're randomly appearing places.
And if you look at the chalkboard, there's a bunch of comic stuff references on that thing. A lot of which haven't come back up yet, but a lot of comic stuff is just crazy.
on there, copium?
No.
At least you know. At least you know it's copium.
But in that battle where Thor comes in to help Sif, supposedly they're his race, like the same race as Baby Bill, and some Chitauri in the background that I couldn't find for the life of me, but also my eyes are bad, so what are you gonna do? Skill diff.
Skill diff.
So Jane's having nightmares about the Aether when the guards come in and take her somewhere else. Thor confronts Odin about this, and You know, I again ask why Thor's wearing this weird cloak around.
He's in mourning.
It's just really ill-fitting. Odin's prepared to sacrifice the lives of his people to get rid of Malekith, just like Malekith tried to do at the beginning. Look at the callback.
Bro,
Whoa.
parallels.
And Thor's like, how does that make you any better than him?
Whoa.
And he goes, because I'll win.
Damn, bro,
but
that's
Thor's-
what Malekith thought.
Thor says that he wants to take Jane to the Dark World and draw Malekith there, and then take him and the Aether out while it's vulnerable. There's a Darcy scene. There's literally no substance in this scene because they're like, we're trying to call Eric. Where is he? Oh, look on the news. It's Eric. The same shot we saw fucking 20 minutes
For
ago.
some reason,
this
the
is
fucking
something that-
intern is here again.
This is something that could have been set up 20 minutes ago when we first saw it. Like, if they had just been looking on the news for news of Eric and then this popped up or something. But, like, yeah, we needed a whole other scene dedicated to it, I guess.
He's just always there.
He's her intern.
Yeah, but it's a
the
lot.
interns neither of them get paid.
Why does she have an intern to begin with? I know that's the joke, but
Probably because she's Kat Dennings, and if she
Yeah.
asked most dudes to be like, hey,
Yeah.
will you intern for me? They'll be
Yeah.
like, okay.
yes, yeah, sure, I don't
Yeah,
care.
ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So Heimdall comes to talk to Thor, and Thor asks for his help. And then Thor, Sif, and the two warriors of the three sit around a table. Heimdall's there too, to discuss the plan. And Thor's plan also involves Loki. Thor goes to Loki's cell and says, no more illusions, brother. And we can see this confident Snive Loki is actually really torn up because he knows he fucked up.
Yeah.
And this whole time, I'm probably memed somewhere else, but I can only think about fucking somebody that I used to know.
Somebody that I used to know. Yeah. He does kind of look like him in that, doesn't he?
A little
He does.
bit with the hair.
Yeah.
I could see it.
I really like this whole sequence too. The kind of like they're plotting the
I like the way it's set up where it goes between them at the table
Yeah.
discussing the plan versus how the
Yeah.
plan is actually coming through.
which is like
Classic, classic heist movie.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I really
But it's
enjoy it.
executed well here.
Yeah.
Loki's a fucking mess. And His
Yeah.
cell's a mess. His hair is not combed. His feet are covered in berries or blood.
I
It's
think
really
he had like
ambiguous.
grapes or something.
Stepped in Barry?
Yeah. So, and Thor knows that Loki will betray him, but he does say, hey, if you betray me, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And that's gonna become a running thing in the coming interactions. As they walk, they say just the most Thor and Loki.exe dialogue we could ever get. Just like run the script. We do get a brief cameo from Chris Evans as Captain America.
Yo!
I can feel the righteousness surging.
They even play his
Hey.
fucking theme. It's really
Yeah,
good.
it's really
They do.
good.
Hey, do you want to have a rousing discussion about truth, honor, patriotism?
God bless America. Ooh. And
Yeah,
then he just
it's
fucking
so
like
good.
slams him against the pillow going,
The-
shut the fuck up.
The way they actually shot this scene is pretty interesting, though. They had Chris Evans. No, they had Tom Hiddleston in the Captain American suit. Captain America
Captain
suit.
American?
Do the lines. Then they had Chris Evans watch it and then reenact it.
Oh,
I like
okay.
that.
Yeah.
I like that. That's how you get the Loki mannerisms through.
And it's the only change in this scene that actually changes the voice.
Yeah.
So they have Sif go get Jane from her room, and Sif's like, "You want me to do it? What do you? I don't want to talk to her."
Yeah, I have a whole plot about how I don't. You cut it out of the. Okay,
Wait.
all right.
Jane slaps Loki for New York. He deserves it. I'm like, you can't just like slap people, Jane.
I mean, he did try to enslave mankind.
He did kill
okay.
probably thousands of people.
like
But
a lot of
no.
people.
Actually, I don't know if you remember this little fact. In Avengers 1, outside of the people who killed before the actual Battle of New York, he only killed 74 people in that battle.
Okay, and how
74
many
too
buildings? How many buildings were crushed by the Chitauri? How many people were shot by the Chitauri?
Only 74.
Really, only 74.
Only 74. It wasn't a big loss.
Damn, K Bishop got unlucky then. Holy fuck! God damn.
Not
The
my
I mean,
girl Haley.
her dad was one of those, I guess. Whatever happened to him, they
Yeah.
don't talk about
Yeah, I
it.
really thought it was gonna come back, but it didn't.
Yeah.
We'll talk about this again
Yeah.
in fucking 6 years.
Yeah, yeah,
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
But Heimdall tells Odin that he's committed treason as a way to draw Odin to the Bifrost room and away from the kingdom. Volstagg will hold everyone off while they steal the Dark Elf ship and they crash into the ship that crashed into the throne room.
Yeah.
Everyone's telling Loki that they'll kill him if he betrays Thor. And Loki's like, well, it looks like there's going to be a line. Jane passes out during the ride, but their real plan was to cause a distraction with the ship and then hop onto the smaller ship with ugly Fandral here, who was waiting.
I like this whole chase sequence. I think it's, again, very Star Wars, but it's very cool.
It rocks.
Yeah. They lose one of the ships tailing them. I wrote these notes really weird. Then they make it to the Dark World.
Yeah, again, so they go through like this whole
Cave.
this
yeah,
cave. So is the
cave.
implication that Loki can make the cave go where he wants? Because I figured
don't
what
know.
they were saying was that like there's only one person that knows the secret paths in and out of Asgard, and they were talking about Loki because he was able to get the frost giants in from the last movie. So like,
Yeah.
are there just multiple caves that, and the one
There
you
has
go
to be
through?
multiple caves.
So if you go through this cave, you go to Jotunheim, and if you go through this cave, you go to the Dark World. Like,
Yeah.
okay,
That's how I'm gonna take that.
that's a little weird, but I'll take
It's
it.
never gonna matter again.
No, it won't. Wait for Thor 5, dude.
This movie's a lot of suspension of disbelief, for better or for worse. And sometimes I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt, and sometimes I'm like, that's bullshit, but I want this over faster, so I'm not going to question it.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with this scene. I just was. Every time I'm like, am I missing something mechanically, or is it really as obtuse as I think it is?
The answer is usually going to be
Yeah,
obtuse, but-
normally it's usually as obtuse as I think it is, but that's
Yeah.
okay. I'm
So-
fine with that.
They're riding around in the Dark World. Loki talks about how Jane will die one day, and then they have an argument about who's responsible for Frigga's death. It's you, Loki. I don't know. It's you.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Well, yeah, he did tell the guy exactly where to go, so, kind of, he's right.
But by the end of the argument, Thor hits him with a pretty sad, like, I wish I could trust you. But then Loki's like, trust my rage. Like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Bro, he's fucking pissed.
It's so edgy, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
and
He just got
Thor's
back from
been-
Hot Topic.
Thor has been wearing an emo cloak for 4 different scenes in this movie that you were complaining about. Now you're complaining about Loki being a fucking emo piss baby?
Look, I never in my life would say trust my rage, dude.
I don't
Just-
know. I feel like you would, but
I
I
would
don't
say
think it'd
trust
be
my rage
seriously.
because I get too mad at too many things. When I'm pissed, I'm fucking in there. I need to get my vengeance or whatever the fuck. Like
All I'm
you kill
saying
me in
is-
Splatoon and Squid Bag? Oh, it's on. Trust my rage. Let's go.
What is
All I'm
Thor
saying is
saying?
trust my rage is like a tattoo on someone.
What does Thor say to Loki? He's like, I offer you a sweeter sacrament or something. Like when he's talking
It's a
about vengeance.
It's a sweeter something. I can't remember the specific word.
I have no idea.
Yeah, everybody in this movie is really edgy.
Yeah.
It's the Dark World after
So-
all.
For the dark movie, we're emo now.
So Darcy and Ian are getting Eric out of holding.
Fucking Ian.
They just pretend to be his family, and the guard's like, "Yeah, sure, yeah." Silva's gear starts to beep because the convergence is starting to happen sooner than calculated. They see a flock of birds fly into a portal and come out underneath them. Then they head to Jane's lab. Jane wakes up, and she and the boys go to meet
boys.
Malekith, the cursed and the ugly dark elves.
The ugly.
Thor unhandcuffs Loki. I didn't never mention that he handcuffed him in the first place, but he did. And then Loki stabs him with a small knife.
Whoa!
Again?
Yo,
Oh
man.
no.
And
My
he
only
kicks
weakness.
Thor around.
Small
and,
knives.
And when Thor tries to call for Mjolnir, he cuts off Thor's hand and tries to make a deal with Malekith.
Damn.
And the curse is like, yeah, he's legit. He was in the dungeon.
He's an enemy.
I saw him in there.
Yeah,
I
he
didn't let him
hates
out.
Asgard. Let's fucking go.
Malekith takes the Aether out of Jane. Really so easy. And she sees the universe being consumed by eternal darkness, not the video game. Thor gives a signal and Loki breaks the illusion. And Thor blasts the Aether with lightning. He can't destroy an Infinity Stone. Unless
What?
it's with another Infinity Stone.
A shame.
And Malekith absorbs the Aether. The curse throws like a gravity grenade at Jane, but Loki kind of pushes her out of the way and almost gets killed for it, but he doesn't. Thor saves him. Loki takes on some of the Dark Elves while the curse fights Thor. And then the curse is like, he's like beating up Thor, but Loki stabs him with a sword, which is then used he stabbed through with the sword. He turns around, picks up Loki,
And hugs
then
him.
stabs Loki. Yeah, he pretty much just hugs him.
It's fucking raw, actually.
It's very cool.
Yeah. And then Loki gets thrown to the ground. But when he does, he has set off one of those cool ass like gravity grenades or whatever. And it kills the curse. He's done.
Finally,
And then
thing is
Loki
gone.
dies.
Yeah,
With
guys,
Thor's
he's
arms.
dead again.
Damn, rip Loki. You should have been built different.
Dude, this isn't even the last time he's gonna die.
I know, it's fucking great.
So Jane and Thor are trapped in the dark world, and they go into a cave and hide from a storm. They're kind of having a moment, and then Jane gets a call from her date from earlier, Richard. She must have like Verizon or something, dude.
Well, it's because of the portal.
Yeah, I was getting there. Shawn.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that you were doing a bit. I'm sorry.
He's doing a summary of the entire movie, Shawn.
Well, I didn't realize that like you were gonna make a bit about something that gets answered a second later. Okay, dude.
Oh, I
really
think that she has really good cell phone service.
I didn't realize that you were making a bit about a question that gets answered 3 seconds later. All right, sue me.
So she finds the keys that Ian tossed into the portal, and they walk into one. And hey, guess what? We're back at that little complex they were at.
Whoa,
Crazy.
That's
That's really
convenient.
convenient. Sheesh. That's crazy. So they go back to Jane's lab in the car that's now smashed up in graffiti because it's been there for however long. And Thor hangs Mjolnir on the coat rack. It's a really good bit of improv from Chris Evans.
Yes, very funny.
Chris
Hemsworth.
Hemsworth.
You tried.
There's too many Chris's in the MCU.
Add Chris Pine. We need more.
Yeah, more.
I'm surprised he's not in there yet.
I would love to see him just play a role in the MCU, but I guess the DCU got him first.
Then they killed him twice too.
Yeah, it fucking sucks. I'm mad about it.
So Eric's here. He's not wearing pants. Your brother's not coming, is
Why
he?
is he not wearing pants still?
He says
He
it
says
helps him
it
think
helps him
better.
think. Yeah, that's what he
The
says.
Mind Stone fucked him up, Shawn.
I guess.
That man is traumatized and also has his brain scrambled, Shawn.
Yeah. Yeah.
He says, your brother's not coming, is he? Loki is dead.
Oh, thank God. I mean, I'm sorry for your loss. That's a good bit. Sometimes there's good bits in bad movies, and this is one of those.
So right after this, we see an Asgard soldier in the dark world with a green sparkle on him. Guess what? Loki's not dead.
Whoa.
Lamau, get
And-
tricked.
You're spoiling the movie for me.
And then he tells he goes to Asgard, tells Odin that Loki is dead. Parentheses, he isn't. And then now they know that Malekith needs to be at the right place at the right time for his plan to work. Eric says that all the monuments point to the central location of the convergence. It's in Greenwich.
What?
Whoa.
No.
We're so close to that. Wow.
That's convenient.
Wow.
Damn, I'm glad we were already in England.
I'm glad
Yeah.
that this fucking English town is the central point of the central point for like a fucking galactic event.
It only happens every 5,000 years. That's crazy.
The ancients foretold of it. They built Greenwich there for a reason.
I mean, if we're talking about it, yeah, Stonehenge existing and being this mysterious monument that, given the shipping containers, is kind of implied. I get it.
It would be cool if it were at Stonehenge. But it's just like
do you think they could afford to film at Stonehenge for that long?
No, you can build Stonehenge. Probably cheaper.
I mean,
make a fake one.
True.
So they start setting up equipment, and as they do, Big M pulls up in his invisible ship.
I keep forgetting who Big M is every time you...
Last time I called him M Dog.
Oh, okay. I keep forgetting. But then
Moldy Keith shows up.
Moldy Keith.
And people start going nuts. People start going absolutely wild. Thor comes in to square off with the Aether-powered Malekith, and they finish setting up all the spikes, and they use the Steam Deck to create anomalies and what people are.
Hell yeah!
Good nerd reference. Good nerd reference.
They go from the dark world to Earth to different places, and it's giving off like big Jumper energy. Have you ever seen Jumper?
I know of Jumper. I've never seen it.
I've never seen
Jumper with Hayden Christensen.
Yeah,
it's a pretty cool movie, actually.
I don't know how you guys feel
and
about this.
Samuel L. Jackson.
I don't know how you guys feel about this final fight scene, but I kind of really don't like it.
I wish this movie didn't have 2/3 acts.
I feel like
that's my problem with it.
I feel like it should have ended with Loki dying or pretending to be dead.
If
then
the
post credits, he's not dead.
I feel like, yeah, you want to have it in Greenwich. It's a big fucking deal. The fight is on Earth. Oh no. But if the Dark World had started like merging with Greenwich, I feel like we could have saved ourselves 20 minutes of bullshit, and we could have had a cleaner third act.
And the action sequences before this were just so much better. They would be way better.
Yeah, this final fight fucking sucks.
Yeah.
It's interesting, but it still sucks.
Yeah.
So, even though it sucks, it is cool to see Mjolnir like try to find Thor.
Oh, I like that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they get fucking teleported somewhere. He's like, "Oh, gotta turn here. Going into space.
Right.
Nope, turn it back.
Turn right."
But then they fall in like a window, and it looks kind of funny because they're like smushed across it.
And they're like sliding down it, and it's like, isn't this guy supposed to be threatening? Why are you doing this to him?
Yeah.
Because he's not threatening, Shawn. This event isn't even important enough to talk about in the Sokovia Accords.
Like, if that bit happened in a Taika Waititi Thor movie, I wouldn't bat an eye. But it happening in this one is like, why? You know?
Some jets fly in and they attack one of the holes that are in the sky. But it's just to remind us that Hogun is in this movie, because they fire somebody at Vanaheim and he's like, huh? And then that's it.
That's it.
Capital M Man and Thor land on Jotunheim, and we get a callback to the Goliath from the first movie. He eats a dark elf, and then Ian takes advantage of the gravity flux to smash more dark elves with the car. And then he and Darcy make out when they're teleported to where Jane is.
Fucking yeah! I how come he gets to smash the dark elf with the car?
Darcy, Jane, Ian, Selvig, Mew Mew.
That part was good.
Yep.
But I just, why could, like, what if Selvig had done it, right? That would have been cool. Why isn't this fucking random intern? Why is he here?
He's just here to make out with Kat Dennings, and I respect it. I wish it were me.
That's why I'm actually mad.
True. He's the audience influencer. That's it.
Thor lands in a subway and has to take it 3 stops to Greenwich. I was like, okay, he's gonna like teleport again. No, he fucking has to take the train.
it's real. I get that it's meant to be funny and he like smiles at it, but in 2022, going back and watching this woman intentionally just like fall so she could touch Thor's tits. Come on, bitch. Come on, bitch. You could just like poke at his arm and be like, you really are as strong as they say. Like, that's it. You don't have to fucking manhandle him.
Malekith starts doing his thing.
God
and
damn
Thor takes the spikes into the tornado to try to stop him. He throws the spikes at Malekith and teleports some of his body parts away. And then he delivers the final blow with Mjolnir. And Jane sends him to the Dark World. And then there's the ship that's there is starting to crumble. And Jane goes to try to move Thor out of the way. But guess what? He's a beefy boy. And she can't move him. Luckily, it gets transported right on top of M. Slice, and the day is saved.
And then Maleficent gets crushed by his own ship, and it's okay.
Yeah.
No way he lives through that.
Everyone clapped.
No.
Just wait until they announce the Phase 6 movie where he comes back.
I
God.
would scream.
Back at Jane's lab, everyone's eating breakfast. Thor's been gone for 2 days.
Everybody. Why is this intern still here?
He's still an intern, Shawn.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
So Thor's been gone for 2 days. Last time he was gone for 2 years, but Jane has hope. Back in Asgard, Odin realizes his mistake and is ready to crown Thor king. Thor cannot accept the throne. He says, "I'd rather be a good man than a great king." Thor tries to give Mjolnir back, but Odin refuses because that bitch would just sink to the ground. And Thor leaves the room as we see Odin turn to Loki. And then the credits.
Loki kind of knowing how to be a better father than Odin, though. He says kind of exactly the right things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can tell it's not Odin because Odin does
You can tell it's not Odin because he's not a piece of shit.
Yeah. He's a different kind of piece of shit.
Okay, this scene, am I the only one that was watching it and I was like, holy fuck, did you run out of budget? The backgrounds in this scene are terrible. When it's cutting between, like, I don't know if it was to hide it, if they shot this like way later and because they didn't want like somebody on set to see fucking Tom Hiddleston or something. I don't know. It's just the rest of this movie looks pretty good when it comes to Asgard, but the backgrounds in this scene in particular, like the light rays aren't moving. Like there are rays of light in the background, but they're just static. There's like, it's like what happened?
Yeah, I didn't.
They were done with the movie too.
I didn't particularly notice it just because I was already clocked out and I was like, oh no, it's gonna be Loki. Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, no, fair. It was this and the post-credit scene we'll talk about a little bit later. Also had bad CGI.
The mid-credit scene.
No, the post one, right? Because the mid-credit scene was the one with
Guardians.
Yeah, and that one looked good.
Okay.
I mean, I assume James Gunn shot that scene. That's
that
normally
was
how
shot.
they
Yeah,
do it.
probably.
Yeah.
But okay, so the mid-credit scene, Sif and Volstagg give the Aether to Tanalir Tavan, the Collector, for safekeeping. The Collector asks why they don't keep it in their own vault, but Volstagg says they already have the Tesseract, and that it isn't wise to keep two Infinity Stones so close together.
Is this the first time the words Infinity Stones are said?
From what we have watched, yes.
Yeah.
Here's my question, right?
Okay.
This would mean that Volstagg and Sif
are
aware that the Infinity Gauntlet that's in the throne room is absolutely fake.
Does it?
Yeah, because otherwise, if you think it's real, then that's 5 Infinity Stones, 6 Infinity Stones.
Oh, you're right. I always forget that gauntlet in there has the stones in it.
I forgot that also. Fuck.
It's an empty gauntlet. You're right. Well,
Shit.
I mean, I think probably most people assume it's a fake.
Really? Why'd they keep it in the treasure room?
I mean, I think the safe bet is that like maybe Sif and Volstagg just aren't allowed in the treasure room.
Oh, that's probably a better bet.
So like
Maybe.
Loki as Odin told
why
them
the fuck does
the
Volstagg
Tesseract
know? He's
is
not
an
that
Infinity
important.
Stone. We need to get this off world now.
Yeah.
Go and give it to this fuck.
It's also like, why would you keep the Infinity Gauntlet like fully stocked anywhere? Like, I feel like it's pretty obvious that it's probably not real.
Yeah,
like,
that makes you an absolute target, and if you're running a kingdom, that is the dumbest shit you could do for your people.
Yeah. Like a fucking peasant boy just sneaks down there and now has complete power over the universe, you know? Like,
yeah. Well, peasant boy just goes, I wish everyone a very die and go to hell no matter what. And then he snaps his finger.
He's just on his finger. He goes, all rich people must die. Boom.
Odin's dead on the floor in the Yamcha pose.
He takes it and goes, it's my turn to play the Xbox. But Tanalir goes, 1 down, 5 to go. Just in case they couldn't get Thanos, couldn't get this Thanos thing off the ground.
Yeah.
Their backup plan, the Collector.
I don't even know if that's the thing because, I mean, Thanos is in Guardians. Thanos is in the same movie that, like...
Hey, just in case.
Considering
I think it just
fact
adds flavor to the Collector's character that he's also would be after the... Because, like, I think it makes more sense that more than one person would want these, you know?
He is the Collector.
He is a
Why
collector.
wouldn't you want to own all 6 of this hyper-limited thing that, you know, can reshape the universe?
I don't think they
Just
ever
in case, though.
necessarily were like, we need to have Benicio del Toro play this absolute joke character in case we need a different villain. You know, like,
I don't know. You never know.
I don't know.
I think it's safe to
respect
assume
your
on this
opinion.
one.
I
When-
respect your
look.
opinion, Tyler. I think you're being fucking stupid.
Look, when Jar Jar becomes a Sith, dude, you'll fucking see, dude.
It's the long game, dude. They've been
Holy
waiting. They've
shit.
been waiting so long for it. My only note for this scene was, man, I can't wait to watch Guardians.
I'm so hyped to watch Guardians. It's been too long.
So Jane is eating breakfast. This is the post-credit scene now. Jane's eating breakfast. When she hears thunderclouds, she sees the Bifrost. Thor's here, and they make out. But this isn't Natalie Portman. It's actually Chris Hemsworth's wife. But we will not see these two characters again on screen until Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
So,
Also, the background in that shot looked really bad.
yeah.
But I wrote down, can't wait to see Jane again in Love and Thunder when I actually like her. Because she's really good in that
Nice.
movie.
The Ice Goliath is running around that complex or whatever.
Yeah, it sure was. And
I don't
was
think that
like,
ever
wait,
gets
that's it?
resolved.
What?
Funnily enough, that is not what the episode, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. tie-in for this episode is. Or this movie, I guess. Not episode, but I think Sif is in that episode.
I remember Sif showing up because I remember seeing the ads when I was watching other stuff at the time.
And I think
Yeah, doesn't she come out-
Enchantress was in it?
Doesn't she come out like naked, like a fucking
I don't remember.
Terminator or whatever?
I don't remember.
That's
Oh,
something weird.
All I know is that she's in it and Enchantress is in it.
Enchantress.
Yeah, but also I think they retconned that wasn't Enchantress because, like, why would you use that character there?
None of that stuff's gonna matter. But that's it.
episode was
That is the movie. We have finished The Dark World. And honestly, I'm gonna be real.
Yeah.
That could have been an email.
If Eric Selvig hadn't gotten arrested because he was streaking in the middle of Stonehenge, we could have avoided this entire movie. More
Yeah,
or less.
we could have gotten here.
We could have just had 30 minutes of like maybe a 7 and then moved on.
But also if Jane just kind of like kept her fucking hands to herself.
Also true, if she had used those 3 degrees and some common sense to not touch that pillar.
Yeah, I didn't hate this movie as much as I was expecting to. Like I said earlier, I think I really think the only character that has anything of substance is Loki. But I really enjoyed all the action sequences, so there's that, I guess.
Thor feels like a more comfortable character. He's still not completely there yet, but he's getting better, you know?
Yeah, he's starting to be fleshed out as like a real person, which is good, you know?
Also, this movie's short. It's under 2 hours, which was nice.
Yeah.
It's
Still-
short.
It feels
still-
long in
It
places.
still took me a week and 2 days to watch it.
I was actually surprised how quickly it felt like it went by, mostly because 90% of it is action. When it gets to the slow moments, they drag like a fucking like really
yeah,
badly.
that's the thing. Like when it's good, because there are parts of this that I would consider good. It's interesting and I'm engaged and I'm like, yes, give me more of Asgard, show me more of that shit. And then when it's slow, like when we're on the elf ship and fucking the fucking Mal Keith
Malnourished.
is fucking malnourished. That's much better. When malnourished is talking to his dudes in this elven language, and I tune out.
Yeah.
I also just think, yeah, if that final everything up until the escape from Asgard, I would consider generally like good. And then that last stretch, if you consolidate that, this movie did not need to be almost 2 hours.
No, not at all. Yeah. I mean, that's it. We can finally move on to the greater MCU.
Yo, not another bad
Hell
movie
yeah.
until Multiverse of Madness.
Oh man, that's gonna be so fun to shit on.
There is not another Phase 2 movie I'm dreading. Let's fucking go.
So let's talk about the connections this movie has to all the other ones.
Woo!
Again, I don't know whether I do spoilers first or not, but here we are.
That's fine.
So I didn't make any graphics for this yet because I'm lazy.
Okay.
But there's not a lot, right? Like again, you can see the where Thor broke the bridge in Thor 1. You can see the ice Goliath from Thor 1. You can see they mention New York twice from Avengers. Loki's on trial for what he did in Avengers. So it's like, that's about it. This movie is a direct sequel to the Avengers and also heavily references Thor 1. And now let's talk about the
language.
Yo, yo, yo.
I'm excited.
All right. So I'll show you the chart first. Right. Here we go.
Okay.
My
I gotta pop out. Oh, wow.
That's more than I expected.
Yeah, there are a total of 8. I think there's 8.
Yeah.
I forgot the count beforehand. But there are a total of 8 swear words. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So let's run through those real quick. At 25:18, Darcy Lewis goes.
Where the hell were you?
And at 28:27, Darcy Lewis also goes.
Holy shit.
And then at 1:09:44, we get a double helping here from Thor Odinson himself.
You know damn well. You know damn well.
And then at 1:12:26, Darcy says.
What the hell was that?
And then at 1:19:45, Loki Laufeyson says.
See you in hell, monster.
And then at 1:26:59, Darcy goes. Darcy and Ian. double
the double
combined.
swear. Let's go.
And then finally, at 1:30:14, Darcy once again says.
What the hell just happened?
The scream cut off.
So
That's
that
really
is
good.
all the swear words. That is approximately 2 hard swears and 6 soft swears. So that's less soft swears than Thor 1, but 2 more hard swears, which currently we're at 0. So,
Mm.
Yeah.
but they're all from Darcy.
Makes sense.
Single-handedly
We-
carrying that tally.
Yeah.
We won't see again until WandaVision.
Oof. But then we'll see a lot of her in WandaVision.
That's true.
Yeah, and none of her in Thor 4. No, she gets 2 seconds on screen. But okay, so that's it for that. Let's talk about where we rank the movie. All right, so you know what? To shake it up, I'll go first.
No.
All right,
Okay.
I'll go first because I feel like I had the easiest time. This movie again could have been an email. Like it really didn't super need to happen. There's a lot of stuff in here that they reference back to later on that can make some stuff be better. You know, they can hit harder if you know what happens, or just they take concepts from here and bring them forward. But other than that, I'm gonna have to put this movie at number 7, above the Incredible Hulk, but below the first Avengers. The first Avenger, I would say.
Yeah,
Not the
because
first
if you say the
Avenger.
first
Yeah,
Avengers, I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
the really
yeah.
good one?
So it's number 7 on my list. Second to last. What about you? Whoever wants to go next.
All right, I'll go ahead and go next. So up until very recently, mine and Tyler's lists have been almost identical. You could tell that our tastes only slightly vary, and I debated with myself for like a good 10 minutes on how I felt about this movie, because the parts that I enjoyed, I really enjoyed. Like exploring Asgard, Frigga and Loki's relationship. I wanted more, but I liked what I saw. And there are places where, yeah, it's just an enjoyable movie, like far more enjoyable than I remembered after coming out of the theater in 2013. But the parts of it that suck and the parts of it that drag absolutely drag it down. I think without those parts, or if those parts had been consolidated, it could have been like a 6.5, a 7. as it is, I'm ranking it a 5.5 out of 10 on my list, and as usual, I'm basically lining up with Tyler. It is 7th on my ranking, just above Hulk, but right under Captain America: First Avenger. It's not a movie I want to revisit, but the parts that I liked more than I expected.
Surprising absolutely nobody, I'm gonna diverge from the rest of your guys' opinions.
Okay.
I have this movie up a little bit higher than I was expecting to have it. I was expecting to have it in dead last place. I have it at number 5 on my list.
Wow.
I had it at 1 star before. It went up to 2.5 stars out of 5. On this watch through, I just enjoyed watching it. Like the action sequences, which was good enough that it kept me entertained. And I have to say that, like, I actually was talking to Shibuya and Tyler. I was like, because if I was ranking it on how good I thought the movie was, it would be in last place. It would be the last movie. I think this movie's terrible. But if I'm just ranking it based on how much I enjoy it, which is what I decided I'm doing, it's at number 5, below Iron Man 3, but above the first Thor movie. I'd rather put this on than the movies below it.
Okay, interesting. Number 5. Can't wait to see that visualized.
Yeah, I'm very curious about that.
I can send it. I was about to say, I actually don't. I forget what our orders are. We should update each other visually or whatever.
I can screenshot mine and send it right now.
Yeah, because I don't remember what you guys have what at besides when you say specifically.
I will shoot it in the chat.
Yeah,
right
I just posted
now.
my list.
There's mine.
All right, so that's it for the rankings. So let's move into the last order of business for this podcast specifically. Let's talk about that new stuff. So where do we want to start?
I just pulled up the like D23 the Marvel like page where they have like the big things listed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you want to just run down that and then talk about. I think the only thing that isn't on here would be Deadpool.
Yeah.
If we can cover that last, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously, Werewolf by Night finally announcing this thing that comes out in fucking like
a week from
week
Friday.
God,
which is awesome because it shows that Disney is finally being smart with Disney Plus. Because right now they're airing Andor on Wednesdays and they're airing She-Hulk on Thursdays. And instead of being dumb like they would have in the past and just been like, okay, we're going to double up this big release onto one of those 2 days, they've said, no, it's coming out on Friday. Like, They're letting these things release on their own. I hate it. For the longest time, they were like, if there's multiple shows running, fuck you, they're out on the same day. Like, I'm glad that they're letting these, at least big releases, breathe a little bit, at least giving them a day to themselves. Like, when that was happening with Miss Marvel and Obi-Wan, it drove me fucking crazy. This trailer, though, oh my God, I love this trailer. This trailer, and we've got first reactions for it. Came out a couple of days ago, I think. It's screened at Fantastic Fest, I think, and also just people were given screeners. And everybody has said good things about it, as far as I've seen. They've all said it's very standalone, that like it's a 30s, 40s horror movie, pretty much. That it's like really violent and there's like a lot of gore in it, apparently.
Ooh.
That
yeah,
like
it looks like it.
They really lean into the genre, and I'm so excited to watch this because I do think this looks like the most unique thing that Marvel has ever done.
Yeah, I'm excited to see them branch out on something like this. The fact that they were willing to fund this, let alone like put it on to Disney Plus, I'm excited.
Do you think it's gonna be in all black and white?
Yeah, it's all in black and white. Because they're doing
if it's a 30s, 40s type thing, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it's like those old 30s, 40s horror movies. It's all in black and white. It's apparently I mean, I wouldn't put much stock into this because like it has like 7 ratings, but apparently it's at 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. But again, I don't. Well, here, let me look.
The pre-release ratings, I don't necessarily trust.
Where's the
trailer looks interesting though.
I mean, I popped the fuck off for this.
It's obviously like pretty hokey, but I think that's what they're going for.
Yeah.
At least some of
Yeah,
it.
if they're basing it off of 30s, 40s, then hokey is what I want.
Yeah.
Interesting to see how that pan off. how that'll pan out.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's all I've got about Werewolf by Night.
Oh. What if we see like a really early version of Moon Knight? Like,
Yeah, I don't think we're getting any cameos in this. I think this is its own thing.
they're
Also,
both pretty self-contained.
although cool because directed by Michael Giacchino, the infamous composer.
Mhm.
So that's very cool that he
The guy who
directed
made
this.
that one song.
The guy that has done the music for all 3 MCU Spider-Man movies. And he did Up, and I think he did Ratatouille as well. I don't know. He's done a million things.
Yeah.
So next up, we got the Secret Invasion trailer. I remember watching this on stream during the Ubisoft thing.
Yeah, because like
Because that's
nothing
just
else
how
was
boring it is.
happening.
They're talking about Mario and Rabbids, and I fucking hate Mario and Rabbids.
Yeah.
So I watched the Secret Invasion trailer like 5 times because it's really good. It's a really good trailer.
It's a really good
Yeah.
trailer. I'm super excited.
I didn't expect to see fucking Everett Ross.
Me neither.
I still get like chills about that when who I now know is
Talos.
Talos.
Yeah.
This old white man. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? It's Talos when he grabs that guy and then all the scrolls in the back turn into that guy.
That's awesome.
I was like, oh
So
shit.
good. I've been
Oh,
waiting for
fuck.
Skrulls to enter the MCU for years, and I'm so happy that they're doing Secret Invasion this big.
I can't wait to see Amelia Clarke in the MCU, bro. I love
It's
her
gonna
so
be
much.
so hyped, dude.
Lots of like espionage, like spy shit.
Yeah.
Can't trust anyone. Rhodey's in it. I
Yeah.
love Rhodey.
I love that Rhodey's in it. Put Rhodey in more shit. Let's fucking go.
And people there get to see an extended scene of them at the little cafe, which gives a little bit more information.
I'm also glad that we're
Uh,
actually just building off of Nick Fury fucking off to space for however long.
Yeah.
Yeah. The bit of information that Rhodey explains is that he's known about the scrolls for about 15 years, which would put that like right at the same time that Don Cheadle became Rhodey.
That's
That's
funny
how they're
as
gonna
fuck.
explain it.
That's pretty funny.
Oh my god.
Terrence Howard steps out of the shadows in this show and is like, "You don't."
He's
know
been
what
locked
you
in a
think you
cave.
know."
If Terrence
15
Howard
years.
cameos as a fucking scroll, that would be the hypest shit in the
Don
world.
Cheadle's been the scroll the whole time. We get the reveal. We get the reveal in this show at the end of episode 4 or something. Nick Fury goes into like a scroll prison camp, and fucking Terrence Howard is sitting in there,
Oh
and
my
he's
God.
like, Nick, they've had me for so long.
He's like, "Who are you?"
Yeah,
And he goes, "Oh god. Oh no.
Nick, you gotta call Tony.
Oh god."
oh no, maybe
Fuck.
Pepper.
So next we got Armor Wars.
They didn't really say much, just that
They didn't say much, but Rhodey's there, obviously.
they did say that Secret Invasion leads into Armor Wars.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Which is
Once
why
we
I
get the
think
real, we get the real Rhodey back.
I think Rhodey's a fucking scroll, dude.
Man.
Fantastic Four. Director Matt Shackman.
Yeah, John Watts stepped
Yeah,
away,
Shane-
and
yeah, John Watts stepped out.
they've got the guy that did WandaVision doing
Just like
it now.
just
So,
like Mickey.
I'm cool with that.
speaking of directors stepping out, this news just came up like really recently. Blade lost its director like yesterday.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
So then they're looking for a new one. It was supposed to start filming in November, I think, but I think
Yeah.
they pushed it back now.
His name was Bassem Tariq. He was going to direct it. I think they're like looking to try and do like January, hopefully, if they can get a new director in really quick.
Yeah. So next we got Captain America: New World Order. Very excited for this.
Me too.
I love Sam. Anthony Mackie's coming back. We get Isaiah Bradley coming back.
Let's go!
Hell yeah.
Bring back
get what?
your grandson or whoever, nephew.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
remember.
Give
His-
us the
it should be his
fucking setup
grandson.
for the fucking young Avengers,
Fucking-
baby. Keep
Yeah.
putting the pieces together.
Eli Bradley.
Eli, yes, Eli.
Yeah, Isaiah
And-
was the old man.
Yeah.
Danny Ramirez as Joaquin Torres. I'm excited about that because he's going to be the new
Mhm.
Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
And then, surprising a lot of people,
Like everybody.
Tim Blake Nelson has joined the cast as Dr. Samuel Stearns, reprising his role from 2008's The Incredible Hulk.
God.
The leader's on his way, baby. Not that I'm excited for the leader in any way, shape, or form, but he's coming back because they got that money now to bring anyone back, basically.
Here's my question for you, Tyler.
Um,
With kind of some of the stuff that's being set up in She-Hulk that I haven't been watching,
yeah.
how much do you want to bet this is another scenario like Civil War, where this isn't exactly a Captain America movie, but they're telling a bigger story using Captain America? Like, why the fuck is Samuel Stearns in this Captain America movie?
Yeah.
Do you think they're just doing like a big
Yeah,
Hulk
I-
story
yeah, no.
and it's
I don't think it's gonna be fucking Sam Wilson by himself fighting the leader.
yeah.
That seems weird, but if it is, whatever.
Like,
I'm
I
excited
think
to
this
have-
might be kind of Civil War-y. I think we're gonna see some other heroes in this, and
I'm
probably
excited to see Cap again.
some Hulk shit.
So next up we have the Thunderbolts. Talk about this for a while.
We got the team
We
revealed.
have
Yep.
a team revealed. We got some familiar faces, including Red Guardian,
Yo!
Ghost.
Dude, I popped the fuck off when I saw that she was going to be in this because I actually really like Ghost in Ant-Man and the Wasp. I think that she's a pretty compelling villain. And I always was like, they didn't kill
Oh,
her.
that is her.
Yes,
I completely
Yeah.
forgot. Oh, shit.
I was like, they didn't kill her, which is a big problem that Marvel has with their villains sometimes. So I was like, okay, one day they could continue her storyline because it's not super resolved at the end of that movie, right?
Yeah.
So I am ecstatic that they're actually picking up that piece and going to continue to play with it in this.
Yeah,
Then we got
I'm hyped for that now.
Valentina Allegra de Fontaine.
Of course.
yeah.
We got Bucky motherfucking Barnes.
Let's fucking go! You don't
But
fucking with Bucky.
No, fuck Bucky. We got John fucking Walker, baby, the U.S. agent.
The world is going to
Yeehaw!
need a U.S. agent.
And we
Worst
get him. We're
line.
getting him.
Worst line I've ever seen in anything.
At least she's also coming back, so we can
Yeah.
get more dialogue on that tier. I'm excited for
Yeah.
that dumb bullshit.
And then we get Florence Pugh as Yelena Belova.
Dude, I think
That's the team.
people are really upset that it's kind of a very super soldier centric team, but I love all of these
I do think-
characters.
I do think it's weird that there's 3 super soldiers, but you know what? Fuck it, dude. Like, it's probably going to be really good. I like all the super soldiers.
Yeah.
Bro,
here.
this means the hand-to-hand combat game is gonna be fucking insane in this. I'm excited. I
And it's-
want well choreographed
and,
fights.
this for some reason they don't mention it, but fucking Taskmaster is in this lineup as well.
Oh yeah,
Hell
right. I didn't know why
yeah.
they didn't mention Taskmaster. Taskmaster, yeah. Jake Schreier is
with a better
directing this.
with a better mask.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Another character that they left off in a place where I was like, I'd really like to
Yeah,
see
she
this
didn't die at the
continued,
end of
you know?
Black Widow.
But yeah, I'm really excited for this movie. And this is
We don't
like
even know
the end of phase
We don't
5.
even know if she was blipped, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
we know Yelena was blipped.
Yeah. That was a great
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah, that was a really good scene.
It was handled super well.
Obviously, Loki season 2.
Yeah. This is just like a cast edition.
Yeah.
The guy who played Short Round in the Indiana Jones movie is
Oh,
gonna
hell
be in
yeah.
this. Yeah.
He's gonna be in this as Loki. Well, he's gonna be someone. I forget. I think I read that wrong.
Yeah, I don't
But-
think
Yeah,
he's Loki.
the way
I
they
think-
worded on this site
But
fucking
he
sucks.
could be.
Hold on.
He could be a Loki, but we don't know what he's doing here.
There was a great picture of him standing with at D23 with Harrison Ford because Harrison Ford was there
Yeah.
for Indiana 5, and that was cool. I think it was the first time they've been together since Temple of Doom.
Yeah,
But,
the photos
oh-
are very cute. They haven't announced who he's playing. I just looked it up. Like Kevin Feige said he's in it. No other details.
Mobius is coming back. Mr. Owen Wilson
Yo!
and Sophia DiMartino as Sylvie, the love of my life, is coming back as well.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and they've got more stuff written down on here, but I think it's all just recapping of what we already knew. I don't think there was
Yeah.
anything big here. I guess the only. I mean, was there anything in that Ryan Reynolds video, Tyler? I mean, it
Wait,
was just kinda-
there was. I'm sure there was something else at D23. Then
Dude, he was sitting on a
blanking.
couch for 2 minutes. I don't know what you think happened.
Quantumania. They showed some Quantumania stuff.
Yeah, but we'd seen that as well at
Did we?
They showed a trailer at Comic-Con.
Did we know what's his face was playing?
Oh,
No,
MODOK?
sorry, sorry, I have that mixed up. I'm thinking of Guardians 3.
That was also at San Diego Comic-Con.
Was it?
Yeah.
And they showed off what's his face as the
High Evolutionary? That was at
Yeah.
San Diego Comic-Con. He came out in the crowd dressed up as him.
Really? Maybe I
Yeah.
just wiped that from my memory.
I think the big reveal is that we saw that apparently the footage of Quantumania at D23 showed MODOK, which I think everybody kind of knew that was coming, but
I didn't. I wouldn't have expected him to show up.
because it's what's his name? It's
Darren Cross.
Darren Cross. Yeah, it's Yellow Jacket.
We'll see his dumb ass soon. And then the yesterday, I think, right?
Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah.
They announced Deadpool 3. We knew that. I mean, we knew that was a thing,
But
but
they gave it a date.
they gave it a date. It's like in September. of next year?
September 4th, no,
Of
2024.
2024.
I saw
yeah.
2024, yeah.
Yeah.
Situated between fucking Thunderbolts and F4.
Fantastic Four, yeah.
And spoiler alert, fucking Hugh Jackman's coming back as Wolverine.
Kind of nutty.
I can't believe it, actually.
It's a good video if you haven't seen it.
So
Yeah.
But hopefully you fucking seen it.
Yeah,
Hopefully
yeah,
you
yeah.
haven't been spoiled on it by any of the news articles covering it or any of the trending tabs or the comments of the fucking video.
So, how do you guys feel about Hugh Jackman coming back to play Wolverine again? Because I know there's some discussion online right now about like this ruins Logan or whatever, which I think is
I'm
kinda
gonna be honest,
bullshit,
bro.
but-
I have not seen Logan.
You haven't seen
Neither
Logan?
have I, honestly.
Neither of you have seen Logan?
I know it's meant to be
meaning
really good.
but I just haven't.
I feel like I gotta
haven't
be in the
gotten around to
headspace
it.
for it because I know how heavy Logan is gonna get.
Yeah.
And it's
Logan
gonna be
is
upsetting
incredible.
because I grew up with Hugh Jackman Wolverine and I love some of those movies
Yeah.
to death. So
Yeah.
I have just been putting it off. But all that said, I understand that because of what happens in Logan, some people are going to be really upset about this and saying that
Right.
it shits on the character and his story. My
But
brother
this
in
is a
Christ, the
different
MCU
Logan.
is different. My brother in Christ, this is a Deadpool movie.
Yeah.
Please.
I feel like if your argument is the only reason you felt like true emotional attachment to Logan was because the meta knowledge that the actor was done as well, did you like the movie? Like, I feel like that movie is still fucking really effective, even if you don't know that that actor is not going to play the character anymore after that. Like, I don't know that even factors into my thoughts when
Well,
I'm watching
now I'll get to
something
test
like
that
this.
theory. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. It's just this kind of thing where they're like, I don't know, anytime something new is coming out and they're like, it ruins the older thing. It's like, my brother, it still exists.
The
You can
older thing is
go
still
watch
there,
it.
and you can revisit and just not watch the new thing.
Yeah,
If it upsets you
Yeah.
that much.
I don't really get it. to
Anyways,
be
I'm
honest.
excited.
I'm super hyped.
I'm hoping. I mean, I don't know how much of this he's gonna do. Like, clearly he's a big part of this movie because
They
his
announced
claws
it.
were
Because
in
the
fucking
goddamn logo.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they wouldn't put him in a bit part of the logo was
No.
like that. But you know, maybe he can come back in Secret Wars. We don't know.
I mean, there's only a couple
don't-
months in between those movies.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
half a year. Yeah. What do you
But
guys think?
I mean,
this
he's
is-
getting pretty big though. He's getting pretty big.
What do you guys like? Any like dream scenarios for what this movie is about? Like, what if it's?
I want Deadpool
Yes.
to go around
Yeah, me too.
and kill the entire Fox universe, baby.
Dude,
Just fucking
Bro,
take him out.
eradicate the past.
I
Kill
don't
the
know.
past and create the MCU future. Let's
But
go.
again, those X-Men actors have contracts that last a couple more years or whatever.
Do you
So
think
who
that like
fucking
they
know?
want to
Maybe-
bring them
maybe-
all back? Like,
Maybe
Some
maybe
of them
he-
probably.
He grabs a couple of them, puts them in a van, and we drive over to the MCU.
He does the trolley problem, but the fucking X-Men problem of like the Fox movies are on a train and those characters, and then the MCU ones. And he has
So-
to pick.
my
Who
pitch.
knows? Deadpool's quirky. But I love him though. I love the movies at least.
Yeah.
My pitch is that Deadpool takes Logan from before the movie Logan, and like takes him to the MCU and like an attempt to be like, I don't want you to die. Like, you're the only one in that universe I like. I want to hang out with you, so I'm gonna like. So he takes him to the MCU, and the movie is like a road trip adventure with the two of them. Where over the course of the movie, Deadpool has to give up Wolverine, and at the end, Wolverine goes on
he
to
has
his
to
death.
learn to let him go because
Yeah.
Hugh is not willing to come back for more than
Yeah.
one movie.
He has to learn to let him
Yeah.
go, and he also has to learn to like let the Fox universe go or whatever, and like
Like they're standing at like a line that's like Fox Universe,
Yeah.
MCU,
yeah,
and Deadpool tries to bring him along, but Logan's like, "I can't come with you."
yeah. That's like the
Deadpool
end
and
of the
Logan
movie.
go to Disneyland and they spend a day bonding, and he buys him the mouse ears, and he just is exhausted the entire fucking
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
As long as we're bringing over Negasonic Teenage Warhead
Yes.
Yeah.
And Colossus.
Colossus.
And
Well, I'd be shocked
Yukio.
if they didn't come back.
Yeah, Yukio.
Yukio would rock.
Hi Wade. Hi,
Plus,
Yukio.
it'd be pretty easy. It'd be pretty funny to see what Logan thinks of this Yukio, because he met Yukio.
Oh, yeah,
in
that's
fucking
true.
Right, he
the la-
did.
The last Wolverine or whatever.
The
Wolverine.
Wolverine.
The Wolverine, the middle one, the ugly middle child that no one talks about. But who knows, dude? It's gonna be cool though.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about it, and the idea of the meta narrative of him learning to let Wolverine and the entire rest of the Fox X-Men universe go would be cool, but also consider Deadpool and Logan trying to set up the X-Men within the MCU and just
'Cause
going,
the-
we can call them the X-Men, and Logan just goes, that name is shit. What are you talking about? And he has
And
to
there
like
is-
come collect everybody, and they do a first class homage or
we,
something.
we bring back
There
Miss
has
Marvel.
there has been a Wolverine mention in She-Hulk.
Was there?
Ooh.
When she gets fired from her job and she's looking for jobs, she's on that website, and in the like sidebars, like man with metal claws, like fighting in a bar, something like that.
Yeah.
shit.
But whenever it's like a little
See,
Easter egg like that, I'm like, how much does that
Though-
really matter?
Those are more canon than the like ending art things they do, which are just kind of fun. Like Easter eggs like that, I don't think are just put there for no reason.
Well, yeah, if this was already in the works, that makes perfect sense. Like, if they were in talks to get Hugh in for a Deadpool
Yeah.
within the MCU, that actually tracks.
Yeah,
then-
I think with how long it takes to make a TV show, I think that was a bit. I think like somebody was
I
like,
don't
oh,
think
it'd be
it's a
fun
bit.
to reference this. You know, I don't think they had any prior knowledge that this Wolverine thing was going to happen when they did that. Because I remember Rob
But I'm
Liefeld
sure that-
tweeting that he didn't know it was going to happen until 2 weeks ago when his agent told him.
I mean, that's fair, but like the higher ups at Disney probably would have had issues with that if they hadn't already known that there was a deal going on behind the scenes.
Yeah,
that's what I feel.
I don't know. They probably did that like 6 months ago at the earliest, and I don't know that he was signed on 6 months ago. I don't. I feel like they probably signed him on more recently.
Either
than
way,
that.
that's the sort of thing, like VFX wise, if it's just in a tab in one scene on a laptop or something, that's the sort of thing you can put in or take out last
That's
minute
true.
if you need to.
But those are also the things that I'm least likely to like be like, this is gonna matter. You know, it's
No,
like
of
it's somebody
course. I'm
at
not.
a
No,
I'm not
no.
saying it's a
studio being
huge thing
like-
that matters. I'm saying
Yeah.
it's a neat Easter egg
Oh,
that
for
might have
sure.
been greenlit if they knew that the negotiations last
Yeah.
second were going the right way.
For sure. I can see that.
This is. I feel like this isn't like different from like the cut ending scene from Iron Man 1 when he was like, and the mutants and Spider-Man.
Yeah,
And-
it's that sort of deal.
Mm.
But who knows? Who knows?
I just can't wait to watch another Deadpool movie.
I'm so excited. I need to rewatch the other two movies because I remember
We are
watching the
going
fuck
to
out of
have
one,
to
but
for the podcast because that's a direct sequel.
that's
is.
true.
So we'll have to watch Deadpool 1
Yeah.
and 2 for
Gonna
that.
have to.
And depending on how
Season
3 goes, we might have to watch some other stuff too.
Yeah. The entirety of the Fox X-Men universe.
Not all of
Just
it.
like we're going
We
to watch
can
the
ignore Dark
entirety.
Phoenix. We can ignore Dark Phoenix, bud.
Like, and we also got to watch the entirety of the Sony Marvel universe for No Way Home. Yeah. No, this is let's set the precedent. Let's set the precedent, dude. Come on.
No. These aren't commitments I made.
We got to at least watch the Toby, Andrew,
No,
and
you know what? I think
Venom
here's
movies.
Yeah.
here's the problem. If Tyler didn't do all the work on the swears and shit, I
That's
would
true.
say let's split it up. So like for for the Maguire Spider-Mans, somebody does 1, somebody does 2, somebody does 3. We roll a wheel or we roll dice or some shit. We figure it out. Amazing Spider-Man, someone does 1, someone does 2, and then the last person gets to pick. They're gonna pick 1 because of course they are. For the X-Men movies, the original trilogy, we spin. For the Wolverine spinoffs, we spin, or whatever the fuck. I think there's ways we could do it that would be fun, so that we could, like, split up the work a little bit. It would be a mess, but it would be a fun mess.
You know you want to, Tyler. You know you want to watch the Andrew Garfield movies.
I just keep thinking
He's
about
so
how
cool.
they did Gambit and then like never again.
Yeah, I'm...
Until
I remember
Deadpool 3! Get Channing
He
Tatum
might-
back!
Oh my god.
Imagine. But it's fucking yeah. If there, I mean, there's nothing else to say. We can wrap up here. Shawn, where can everyone find you?
You guys can follow me on Twitter at Shawn_AFK. Everything that I do is on there.
What about you, Shibuya?
Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, just Shibuya Gato.
All right, and you can find me on Tyler Rims on Twitch and Twitter. How did I forget that? Maybe because I'm a sociopath. But
Maybe because you had to remember the entire plot of Thor: The Dark World, so you're physically and mentally
that's
exhausted.
true. Been living in the dark world for a long time now, and I'm finally free.
The Dark World is over. You can go home.
Shit. Yeah, Tyler Rims. Cool things. Have another podcast called the OP Anime Podcast. You can find that on Spotify and Anchor and Google Podcast, and not on Apple Podcast because it takes a lot of setup that I'm too lazy to do. I'm very sorry. Anyone who likes to listen on Apple Podcasts.
Apple Podcast is a bitch and a half to set up. Believe me,
Just-
I know.
Just find a better service. I swear to God.
It's the problem is the image uploading, because I remember trying to get Melmike onto Apple Podcasts, and they require an image of a specific size, but no more than this many colors, and it can't be huge, so you have to make it a JPEG, but not too small of a JPEG, because then they won't accept it. And I wanted to kill myself. It was such an awful process.
Okay, and then you can find. Also, I'm bringing back fucking the Bleach podcast. It's starting back up. I'm taking notes. It's called "Give Me the Bleach Boys." And
Let's go.
I'll play a little snippet of the theme song for you here right now. You were hearing it.
All right.
Give me the Bleach Boys and heat my soul. I wanna unleash my Zanpakuto in sincerity. In sincerity, yeah. And you can follow MCUnhinged on Twitter at MCUnhinged. You can also find us on Anchor at anchor.fm/MCU-unhinged. You can also find us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and also if we're not on a place that you listen to, come over to the Anchor page, copy that RSS feed, plug it into your podcast app of choice, and we will pop up there regularly for you. But that's it. Hey, next time we're doing Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
Yo!
It's gonna be good, maybe.
Finally!
It's been long enough. We can tell them that it's going to be good.
You know, who really knows?
I do. I remember watching that movie multiple times, bro.
It's a good movie.
You know what? Who really knows? Not me.
You just hate Captain America.
He's going to find
All right.
out.
Sign us out, Shibuya.
All right. Thank you all for listening to MCUnhinged, the Marvel Cinematic Universe recap podcast. You want to follow any of us? We just said it, dipshit. Or possibly in the description. I don't fucking know. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to keep up to date with all of our stuff. Follow us because we promote this whenever it goes live. And have a good one.
See, Shawn, that's how you do it. Like, why can't you just do it like that? got any crazy anecdotes this week, or?
Boom. No, unfortunately.
Thor, that sure was the dark world, huh?
Man, what a world that was. It was pretty dark for some of it. Not as dark as that one episode of Game of Thrones. Heyo.
Not as
Couldn't
dark
see
as my
shit that week.
existence.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well,
There's multiple meanings. Take that how you
yeah,
will.
yeah. Just like this Thor movie, I'm living in a dark world right now. Boom. There we go. How was that? Was that good? Okay. Well, cool. Thanks, guys.
Dude, I'm trying to figure out how to
Sorry.
respond. It's not that I'm not paying attention. I'm trying to come up with a good response for that.
The right response is to laugh. No.
Damn, bro, it sucks that your world's dark. Just light a flashlight or something.
Yeah, dude. Just
Bro, get a match.
Meanwhile, I look
Get
outside
a
my
map.
window and I'm like, thank God I'm not on the other coast of Florida or I'd be fucked.
yeah. I hope you're on the other side or the other
It
coast.
landed on the
so-
west coast. We're on the
Yeah.
east, so thankfully
Okay, that's
we're
good.
all right. And we got the brunt of the
Mhm.
rain like yesterday, weirdly enough.
Mhm.
Yeah, East
So-
Coast, baby.
Unless it's just like a jump
East Coast
scare
is the Beast
storm,
Coast, baby.
I should be fine. Although I am praying that I don't just suddenly lose power in the middle of the fucking podcast.
Yeah, that wouldn't be great.
That
West
would
Coast,
suck
more like
fat
worst
dick.
coast.
It would be awful.
Tyler, does the west coast of Florida count as west coast? Because it's still on the east coast of the United States.
Yeah,
don't
but
know
it's the
if-
West Coast of the East Coast.
Yeah,
I-
it is the only west coast of the east coast. He's right. He's spitting.
I don't know if the west coast east coast rivalry applies to the west coast of Florida.
No, see, Florida. Yeah, Florida does its own thing. All right.
That's true.
I'm sure there's a rivalry between the two coasts.
You're
I'm
probably
sure
right.
I'm sure they added South Coast in there. You know.
Yeah, I hear the word Tampa
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
go into a blinding rage. It's fine.
Shibuya is just fucking swinging like a traffic safety cone around, beating people from Tampa.
She's got
Are you saying that I'm like a Yakuza character just picking up anything off the street and beating up people from Tampa?
I mean, I just
a
think it's a
gator
good
in a
weapon.
trash can. You know?
I've never killed anyone in my life, I say as I put their head directly into a gator's jaw.
Instead of
The
grenades,
gator-
you guys
the
throw
gator
alligators
killed
at
him.
each other.
Oh, yeah. Fun fact, Florida, only place in the world where both gators and crocs show up natively.
That's crazy.
It's
That's
fucking
crazy.
wild. Fuck Florida.
Florida is like a nexus.
Nexus
Yo,
point.
Florida is like some weird convergence. Eh?
Cool.
Eh?
Fuck, that was good.
Oh.
Thank
that was
you.
good.
I do my best.
Damn, I'm supposed to follow up on that.
We're starting the podcast, I think.
I
Yeah,
fucking hope so.
I guess so. All right. Let me psych myself up today.